Today we are going to talk about a new AI image generator, which most people missed it. It's really strong, and today I'm going to show you how you can use it, what is the strength point of this AI image generator, and where you can use it. If you're ready, let's begin. So Grok Imagine Image 2 came out several days ago, but I don't see a lot of people talking about it, even though that it is really strong and it has lots of great benefits. Here you can see some examples that was generated using Grok Imagine 2. And as you can see, it is very detailed. Here, this example is very realistic and high quality. It also has a good knowledge and ability on texts and writing text correctly without any hallucination, which is a very good advantage in AI image generators. Here is another photorealistic result, and as you can see, it is very detailed and high quality. And if you scroll down here, we can see a video explaining what are the features of this AI model, but we are going to test it ourselves. Before we test it, I have checked it on rna.ai for text to image, and as you can see, it is ranking number 3, which is really high. So let's test it together. To test it, I'm going to use this Photoshop plugin called ETI Image, and it recently added Grok Imagine 2 and Qwen 3, and with lots of other AI models. If you don't have this plugin, you can get it from the link down in the description. So I'm going to select Grok Imagine 2, and if you come down to the setting, as you can see, we only have aspect ratio as the options. We don't have quality, but yet the quality is really good. A good benefit of this AI model is that it is super cheap. It is just 2 cents, and that is amazing. If we want to compare it to the other AI models, for example, with Seedream 5 Pro on 2K resolution, we should pay 7 cents. For Nano Banana Pro, we should pay 30 cents for a 4K result. So Grok Imagine 2, it's one of the cheapest model out there to use. Now, let's check the quality. For those of you who are not familiar with this plugin, you can just come here, write your prompt, whatever it is, then make a selection and click on generate, and then it will generate the result for you. I have created a couple of examples. Here we have a photorealistic portrait of an old man, and as you can see, it is very detailed with texture, even though that we cannot select the quality, but the quality of the image that was generated is still really high. And this image is 4K. Here we have another example. Here we have another example, and you can see all the details on the flower and on the bee. It's amazing. Here we have another example of a food. And I wanted to test its ability to write text, so I asked it to generate a menu for a coffee shop in English, which everything is perfect. You can see there is no mistake in the text or hallucination. I also tried it in another language, in Farsi, and in Farsi is also perfect with no mistakes and no hallucination, which is really amazing. For the price that we are paying, this result is really cool. In the next example, I asked it to explain Newton's third law in writing, and it did a great job explaining, and everything here is also correct. I have run other tests like creating an infographic for a food recipe of, for example, this food shakshuka, or here we have a Persian food, which is almost correct. I asked it to write it the same recipe in Farsi, which is almost correct. And we have tried other things like creating game assets or even creating logos, which in logos, most AI model can't do a good job, but Grok Imagine 2 was really good. And the fact that it is so cheap, we can just run many different tests and find the result that we want easily. I also tested it in creating 3D results, which is amazing, or editing an image, changing, for example, something in the image that we already have, or convert it to something really interesting and high quality, for example, for a YouTube thumbnail. In another example, I tested it for an interior design and the ability of editing images. So here we have an interior, and I just try to change different items in the scene. For example, changing the lamp here, or changing the mirrors to paintings on the wall, or even use some annotation or some drawing that, for example, here on where you can see the red lines, I want you to add a bookshelf, and it added it like this. Or here I mentioned, I want you to change this plant to something green and alive, and it changed it to this one. I also asked it to change the color of the marked wall to something like, for example, dark gray, and it changed it to this. And as you can see, the result is amazing, and all the details are visible, and it's very clean without any mistakes. So if you want to compare what it was before with after, you can see the result is really good. Let me give you a quick tip which helped me a lot in editing images using Grok Imagine 2. So I suggest you to work on images with a precise aspect ratio, not something random. For example, you can just go for a square image, which is 1:1, or for example, 16:9. Then you can select the whole image and then do the changes that you want easily. And if you want to just edit some specific part, like what I did, you can mark that part inside Photoshop and ask it to make changes there. On the next example, I tested something cool. I provided my own image and I wrote this prompt, and I asked it to create 3D characters of this person in some funny style. So this is what it made, and it's really amazing. And you can use this as a sticker. In the prompt, you can mention to add some white sticker around it, which is also cool. I also tested this on a cat, and here's the result that it made, which is really fun and really cute. I tried it on the interior that we just improved, and here is the result, and it is really cool. On the next example, I wanted to test its ability to create UI UX designs, for example, websites or applications. So here I asked it to create homepage of an online store, and it made this. And if we zoom in, all the texts are correct. The design is amazing, and it used good colors for the proper places. For example, the call to action button here is using the correct color. Here it is a match with these colors, with this card notification color. And all the details is really good. And I'm really surprised that Grok Imagine with just 2 cents can create something amazing like this. Then what I did, I provided this screenshot of one of my apps, which is called Rodbit. And it's a productivity app. I provided this screenshot and asked Grok Imagine 2 to create some advertisement images for this specific screenshot, for example, for App Store, and it made this image, which is really cool. And one thing that I noticed is that I never mentioned the name of this app is Rodbit, okay, in my prompt. But here in this text, the name of Rodbit was mentioned. Here also we have creator of Rodbit, and itself, it read the text and thought about it, and then wrote join the Rodbit community today. So it recognized the name of the app from the content, which is amazing. It shows us that this AI image generator really think about the content that exists in the image that we provided. It also created another example, which is this one, and it is really good, and I really like it. On the next example, I wanted to test its ability to create product images. So I found this image on Amazon of a product, and as you can see, it is really low resolution and low quality. I asked Grok Imagine 2 to generate product images, and here are the examples that it made. This is one example. As you can see, the quality is really good. Here is another example. Look at all the details, all the things that it followed correctly. Even the blue light around this part is exactly as it was in the original image. And it was really surprising for me. Here is more complex poster of this ad, and I really liked it. So what's your opinion about Grok Imagine 2? You can leave a comment below. I'm really excited to see your comments. And again, if you don't have this ETI Image Photoshop plugin, you can get it from the link down in the description. And if you are interested in this kind of trainings, do not forget to like the video and leave a comment. This way I will understand you're interested at this topic and I will make more of them for you. I will also put the links to these pages down in the description in case if you want to read further more. If you are not yet subscribed to our channel, click on subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss our upcoming trainings and tutorials on AI. I hope you have enjoyed this video and I will see you soon on the next training.